I'm just going to pull you guys up on my iPad so I can see comments, see if anyone's there. There we go. And hopefully there are no interruptions of technology mishaps, because that likes to happen a lot. I'm feeling a little festive today because why not, right? And yeah, so today I'm going to be answering some questions and doing like some painting. So you guys can also request any painting ideas that you want while I do this. But first I thought I'd just, hi everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, yay, people. I'm talking to people. I've been talking to a 2-year-old for a lot of this week and I'm kind of, thank you, you're the best. Oh yay, so many people. That makes me happy. Yeah, so if you didn't catch me right at the beginning, I'm just gonna be doing some live painting stuff. But I want to start off with any questions you guys may have. I told people on Instagram that I was going live and they sent me a couple questions. So I'm going to try and read your questions at the same time. If you guys do have any questions, let me know. But some of the questions that people were asking on my Instagram, people were asking about pros and cons of being a full-time artist. I kind of wish I was a full-time artist, not a complete full-time artist. I work 2 days a week. My husband and I kind of trade off. He works 3 days and I work 2 days. But turning art into my career, my source of income has been amazing. Didn't ever think I would ever be able to do that. But yeah, sorry, I'm reading questions at the same time. But yeah, it's been amazing. You get to do what you love and you get paid to do it. My income comes from YouTube. That's my main source of income, and it took a while to get here. It was not a quick thing. It took a few years for my channel to actually take off. So if you're just starting, just know that it's not a quick thing unless you have some sort of like clickbait or whatever. Cons is that it can be a little taxing, you know, like it doesn't become as fun anymore. Like I rarely paint for me. I usually paint to film. So it's kind of been a bit of a con, but you know, and you have those days where you just don't want to do anything, and I'm still trying to get content out, and so it's a little bit harder, but yeah, that's a con. My eyes are so pretty, thank you. I put on makeup today and I put on clothes. It's very exciting. I've been wearing pajamas for the past 3 days. We've been potty training my 2.5-year-old son, and it has been, actually, he's been really amazing, but it's also been kind of a shit show because potty training is insane. Okay, questions on here. I saw someone say that your Payne's gray is not as blue as mine. So my Payne's gray, I'm using professional watercolors from Winsor & Newton, and I find the Payne's gray professional are a lot more, blue. I have the COTMAN Payne's gray from Winsor & Newton, and that's a lot more gray. I don't know, apparently, but it depends on the brand. But if you want more of a blue, I would get an indigo and maybe mix it with your Payne's gray. I love indigo too. Let me look for more questions. Can you tell me the cheap and best watercolor paper for beginners? For beginners, use whatever you can find. You know, if it's something you don't know if you actually really like to do yet. So you are wearing pants. I am wearing pants today. I wanted to feel like a human. It's been a while since I felt like a human. Yeah, so, what was I saying? Cheap materials to start off with. I started off with Canson paper. It's not the greatest quality paper, but it's something to start off with. You know, just use whatever you can. My favorite paints are the Winsor & Newton COTMAN to start off with. The tubes, they last a lot longer. I have a couple of videos on where to start, so I would definitely suggest looking at that. And I have a video coming out of my favorite paper and like my favorites of 2020. But I really love these Etchr Lab cold press sketchbooks. They're expensive, but it's great for practice because there's so many sheets in here and you can paint front and back, so it's great for practice and is so worth the money. Let me just look and see what other. There's so many comments. I'm not used to this. This is exciting. Hi, people. I haven't seen people in so long or talked to people. So many people from all over. That's exciting. England, Ireland, Peru. Hi. You make us happy. Thank you guys. That makes me so happy. How many years have I been doing watercolor? I started, I want to say 4 years ago. I've always been into art. I used to be one of those kids in class doodling and drawing instead of learning. I did not do the well. I did not do the best in school. My mind was always on art. But I didn't really get into it until about 4 years ago, and it's taken me about 4 years to get to a place where I feel like confident in my work. How do I seal my watercolor? I don't. I frame it if I want to protect it, but I don't. Do I have an art degree? No. I went to school for being an early childhood educator, so I'm an ECE. I taught kindergarten for 6 years. I taught in childcare for a long time. And then I've always incorporated art though in my teaching with kids. And once I went on mat leave with my son, I decided not to go back because I wanted to be home with him. And it ended up turning into a career, and I'm so happy it did because this is something I've always wanted to do. Not necessarily videos, but that just happened and it's kind of awesome. Just gonna answer some more questions. Good luck potty training. Thank you. So far, so good. We've had a couple accidents, which is, you know, normal. Do I do portraits at all or only landscapes and botanicals? I used to paint people a lot, but not as much anymore. I did an illustration series, so if you're interested, look that up on my channel. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to read and make sure I don't want to. Where do you buy arches paper? It's expensive. So I used to live in Richmond Hill. We moved out more towards the Niagara region now in Ontario, but there is a place, if you guys are in Richmond Hill or like Northern Toronto, Ontario area, there's a place that sells it for like 16 something that I just found before I moved, which is crazy. But yeah, prices are higher because of COVID. It's insane. I'm sorry, I feel so weird trying to read. Just want to make sure I get any like really important questions. There's so many comments. How do I clean my brushes to make them stay nice? I don't. They're all stained, but that's okay. They still work wonderfully. Okay. Oh, you're from Niagara region. Yeah, we just moved here and it's wonderful. We love it. My main income comes from YouTube. So because of the ads, I get AdSense revenue per however many views. So the more views, the more ads get viewed, and then I get paid based on that. YouTube has been very good to me this year. I never thought that that was like a way to make money, but it is, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Your brushes are destroyed. Someone said we're asking how to take care of brushes. Okay, watercolor brushes, be gentle with them. Sometimes I'm a little rough with them, but make sure you rinse them really, really well. I don't clean them, I just rinse them. And if you can, the best way to do it is hang them upside down somehow. If you have, I've seen people do this, not in this one, but like a smaller like clip. You clip it onto the side of something, and then if it's a small clip, you can just put your brush in there and hang it upside down to dry. That way the water doesn't get into the ferrule, and then like it doesn't make the glue. Why can't I speak? I don't know. It's just better for your brushes, but I just rinse them and then I put them down on a paper towel, and that's how I take care of my brushes. Okay. Okay. How do I really run my channel? Ideas and stuff. So I am gonna start bullet journaling. So this was the first year that I've actually used a planner. Like, so this is my planner from last year. And I actually write down all my video ideas and release dates in there. And I look a lot on Pinterest. I look and see what other people are doing, trends. I don't know, just see, and I get a lot of requests from you guys. And so I started that planner last year, and that's the first time I've actually filled up a planner like in my life. I always have the best intentions, and then like after January I stop. So this year I've decided to start bullet journaling. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I just started it yesterday. It's pretty. I'm setting goals. This is gonna be my personal one. Where's Noah? Where's Noah? Noah is outside with his dad right now shoveling snow. To keep quiet, hopefully. Okay, what would I want to get into painting because I don't want to just sit here and have you looking at me the whole time. I don't understand anything, but you are fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so I am gonna do a couple demonstrations for you of painting ideas. You can give me more ideas as we go. How old is Noah? He turned 2.5 in November. Okay, sorry. I would really love someone to like read these out to me. Okay, I'm gonna paint for you. So if I don't answer all your questions, I apologize, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so actually here, that right there, that's my husband and that's Noah. They're across the street playing. Okay, so now I'm going to, this is my desk area. And I'm going to paint some lights for you because some people like the lights in the last little illustration thing I did, and I'll show you a fun way to do them too with a bit of a background. Okay, so I just did like a little drawing first with my pen, whatever pen you have. And yeah, that's my window with a beautiful view. Okay, so I'm gonna do a background kind of blue. So I'm just gonna take my brush. I'm gonna be using my size 12 brush, so there's a lot on there. I'm gonna grab just some cobalt blue. Just gonna wet it up because I want the whole background blue. And I'm gonna make it a lot lighter around where the lights are. And this could be a cute idea for a card. I wonder if I should get, actually here. I'm just gonna put this underneath. And I'm using Etchr's cold pressed watercolor paper for this. It is honestly the best. I'm just gonna add some clean water over the lights. I'm gonna fill up the whole area. Then I'm gonna move this blue around. Etchr's cold pressed watercolor paper. I just used a fine liner pen that's waterproof. Make sure it's waterproof if you do this. Okay, now I'm gonna add more blue, but not where the lights are. I'm gonna try and zoom in a bit. Did that work? There we go. Okay. I'm gonna put more blue around. Like I said, not where the lights are. A bit darker towards the bottom. I did this as a card last year just for like some family members. I didn't do a tutorial on it, but I thought I would because it's fun. Okay, so the whole thing is wet, and it's better to work with paper that will stay wet longer, so 100% cotton paper is always best. Might grab a little bit of indigo, which is loose, just to make it a little bit darker towards the ends. Going between some of those strings. Just moving it around. Trying to keep it as wet as I can for as long as I can. That was too dark. That's okay. Just move it around. If I'm not answering questions, I'm sorry, I'm painting. But I will try and look up occasionally. Okay, and then I'm gonna wash off my brush. I'm gonna take some clean water and just drop it where the lights are. So it pushes any of that blue pigment away. And I should have taped this down so it doesn't buckle, but I didn't do that because I'm silly. Just gonna add a bit more darkness around here. And see how that effect, where it's like kind of water, clean water pushes the pigment away, so it's great for that. Yeah, I really should have taped this down. I wasn't thinking. It's all good. Just gonna try and blend out around a bit, just so it's not too harsh. So it even looks like white lights, but you don't have to. Okay, now I'm gonna get a smaller brush and I'm gonna start dropping in color. Let me see if I can just flatten it a little bit. I'm gonna grab some yellow and I'm just gonna tap it in there. We'll do yellow, green, red, blue. Yellow. And let it bleed outside of the light. Okay, so there's like a glow coming off the light. That's why you want to keep it nice and wet. Okay, you want that glow outside. I'm just going to wash and dry off my brush and just kind of move that yellow around a bit so it's glowing outside of the bulb. Let's get some red. Now, if you hear some loud noises, that's my son and my husband coming in from outside now. I'm going to wash off my brush, dry it on my paper towel, and just kind of move that color outside the bulb so it looks like it's glowing. But make sure you wash and dry off your paintbrush first. Like that. And then green. I'm just going to grab some sap green. Dry off my brush and just move it around outside like that. And then some turquoise. I love Christmas lights. We live in an area right now, our new house is in an area where there's lots of Christmas lights on the house. It's really nice. I used to live in an apartment growing up most of my childhood. Well, actually, no, all of my childhood, basically. And so we never really had too many lights in the neighborhood. But now it's really nice for us to have that. Okay, and then we have some glowing lights. Okay, I really should have taped this down, but I didn't. So I'm going to let that dry a bit, and then we'll come back, and maybe we can do a little bit more detail on it. And then we can, like, write something cute. But yeah, next time I would definitely tape it down. Let's see if there's any other suggestions on here. Have you painted like a bell or an old ornament? We can try that. What else? The planner that I have for my bullet journal is Scribbles That Matter. I just got it off, what's it called? Amazon. Okay. Black pen that I used for that was just a Tombow fine liner. I like these ones, and also the Pigma Micron pens are really nice too. Okay, someone's asking for floral paintings. Am I a teacher? I used to be a teacher. I used to teach kindergarten with the Toronto School Board. Okay. Someone's talking and making weird comments. That's fine. Okay. Let's do, someone said an ornament. So you know what? I'll show you how to do like just like a Christmas ball ornament using like shading and stuff. So you can always whatever color you want. You can always sketch it out first. I'm just going to do a ball. I'm going to sketch it out with my watercolor. Okay, and then I'm going to fill it in with a light wash. Like this. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to shade it to make it look a bit more 3D. Actually, I want a little thing at the top here, so I'm going to just take up some of that. A little holder at the top. Okay, so you're going to pick where your light source is coming from and where your shadow is going to be. So let's say our light is going to be up here, so that's going to be the lightest part, and so that means that the darkest part is going to be down here. So I'm going to grab more red. I'm just using Winsor red, and I'm just going to start placing some darkness around here. Always start with a lighter wash and then darken. Okay, so I'm just gradually moving it over. Okay, I'm gonna grab more. Sorry about the glare from the light. Okay, just adding another layer, darkness. Okay, trying to keep this area lighter. And then to blend it so it's not just such a harsh line, you can wash off your brush, dry it on your paper towel, and then just blend it. Okay, let's grab some more pigment and keep adding until you get a nice dark, not dark, but like more intense red. So it's looking a little like too, I don't know, actually no, it's okay. I just wash off my brush, dry it, and I'm just gonna kind of move that color around, pushing it back. Then we can get really pigmented over here. So I just grab more paint than water on my brush. Drop it in over here. Now we're gonna do like a shadow color to make it look like a shadow on the side. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of Hooker's Green, which is red's contrasting color, which can also be used as a shadow color or to darken red. So then I add more red, so there's more red than green, and it becomes this darker red, and it will kind of act like a brownish red, but it acts like it's shadow color. So I'm just going to place it on this side of the bulb, and it looks a little bit harsh, right? I'm going to wash off my brush, dry it on my paper towel. Make sure your brush is dry and it's not dripping, because if you add water, that's when you start to get the watermarks. And then you can just blend it out like this. Okay, and it won't be as harsh. It'll be a nice gradual dark to light gradient. Oops. Just trying to straighten out these lines. Like that. Okay, so we have dark to light. And then you can even add some white paint on it after. If you want to take up a bit of the paint here to make it really bright white like that, you can. Okay, and then I would usually use my heat tool to dry it. I don't want to, this is the heat tool I use. I just got it off this website called Simon Says Stamp. It's for embossing, but I really, really love them to dry my paintings quickly. How do you keep your paper from looking scrubbed or overworked? Just try not to overwork it too much. Higher quality paper is a must. Don't use too much paint or water and scrub. You know, you just don't overwork it. I'm just gonna turn this on, so it might be a bit loud, just so you know. Oh, no, I'm not gonna turn it on because it's not plugged in. Actually, let's just let it dry naturally. And we can put it to the side and then do the top. The lights are still a bit wet. Let's see, what else do you guys want to learn while we are here? Let me go through a couple questions maybe. Do you find that Tombow pens last longer than the Pigma pens? Not necessarily. They're pretty much the same, to be honest. Let me see. I feel so comfortable to see YouTubers like you. You seem honest. Oh, thank you. I try to be. I'm like far from perfect. Like far, far. What do I store my paintings in? A big box. I still have no idea what to do. Okay. Let's see. What is something that you want? I don't want to do Santa. I feel like that's going to be too much. Brush writing, peony. Maybe I'll do like a holiday peony. Cute birds and the snow background. I might do a cardinal, winter cardinal later on, like in a different video. I just want to do some things that are quick right now because I don't want to be on here forever. Okay, people are saying peony. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'll do a quick peony. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna do a quick, and then brush calligraphy. I can show you guys a couple things. Let's do a red peony. Let's just keep with our red holiday type theme. So I'm just gonna grab my Winsor red, and I'm gonna start off. This is how I would do a peony. I haven't done one in so long. A curve this way, curve that way, fill it in. So just like a petal shape. Okay. Then I'm going to do another curve this way, another curve this way. And it can be rough looking, like you don't want the petals to be perfect. Do another curve and just kind of curve it in like this, because you know a peony is very like a ball kind of shape. This one's going to be open a bit. Okay, I'm going to add a bit more pigment in there, especially towards the bottom. Like that, maybe another little petal down here. Okay, this is a loose peony. Then I'm going to start just doing some little curves back here. Maybe another little petal there. If you guys are wondering, I learned how to paint peonies and loose florals from Stephanie Fehrenbach. She's on Instagram. I can put her information below later. She's incredible. And she has some courses through the Happy Ever Crafter, and that's where I learned. Okay, I'm just going to add more pigment, like that. Okay. Then I'm going to grab some green. Let's do some sap green. And then I'm going to just do a little stem here. And I'm going to do a big leaf, gently touching part of the petal there. Do another one. I like when they touch the petals a little bit and then you get a nice bleed. But that's just me. Do another leaf over here. Smaller one there. Like that. And I'm going to grab some darker green. Like that. One second. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some yellow ochre for the center. And I'm just going to do some little lines for the center of the peony and then little dots like this. Like that. And that's how I would do like a holiday peony. And there you go. It's just a simple, easy one. Okay, let's look at our lights right now. And what I would do with these lights is I would go back in with some more pigment just over the bulb. So we still have that glow behind. And then maybe I'd take a bit of like a darker color. So a darker yellow, I would use like yellow ochre here. And I would darken it on one side to make it look like it's a bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to put a highlight on the other side. Let's get red. Get a darker red for that one side. Sorry if I'm not reading comments, it's hard to paint and read at the same time. Get a bit of a darker green. Darken on one side, and then the last is the blue. Darker on one side like that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white for a little bit of a highlight once it's done, and then I would probably write something like merry and bright at the bottom. I will show you how to write that in brush calligraphy just on plain paper if you'd like. Okay, so brush calligraphy, I like these, oh, what are these ones? Pentel Touch, I don't remember what kind they are, but they're brush little pens. You can do fine lines, you can do thick lines. Those are great, and the Tombow ones as well. Let me see. These Tombow Funinosuke, I don't know how to pronounce it, are very similar too and are great for beginners. Same deal. But yeah, so I am going to write merry and bright. I'll show you how I do that in calligraphy just on random paper. It's a little hard to do it to make sure that you see everything. So on every upstroke, you want a nice thin line, and on all your downstrokes, you want a nice thick line. If you want to learn brush calligraphy from a pro, look at the Happy Ever Crafter. That's where I learned it from. She is the greatest. I'm not the best at this, but that's where I learned it. Okay, so merry and bright, so I would go up with a thin stroke and then down with a thick stroke. And then just to stylize it, I like to kind of spread it a little bit apart. So up thin stroke, down thick stroke. Now I'm going to do a regular R because I find calligraphy or some other types of R's look a little silly. Merry. And you just have to go really slow, and it takes a lot of practice. Maybe I do like the and symbol or something. Merry and bright. But this does take a lot of practice, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it right away. And the Happy Ever Crafter has a ton of books and worksheets and stuff. You can learn from her, so I definitely suggest it. But that's how I'd write merry and bright. Okay? Okay, let's look at our Christmas ball thing here. So I'm going to do like some sort of top. This is kind of lopsided too. It's not a perfect circle. It's fine. I'm going to use yellow ochre for the top, pretending it's gold, or you can use actual gold, and I'm just gonna do a little curve there, same curve here, like that, and then a little curve at the top like that. Then I'm gonna grab more pigment, darken the sides. I might grab a little bit of burnt umber just to act like a bit of a shadow, especially at the side, like that. Okay, and then you can either take your paper towel and take up some of the color to be like a little highlight, like that. Just gonna blend it out a bit. Or you can get like white ink or something, which would be cute. And then you could do like a little string or whatever on a branch, but that's basically it. Okay, let me see. You want me to write the word Christmas? I can write the word Christmas quickly. Let's see, Christmas. Okay, so I would go a little intro line here. Upstroke nice and thin. Down, thick. Start going thin. Come up. Thin, thin, down. C-H. R-I. A. Like that. This is a little shaky because I'm a little shaky. That's how I'd write Christmas, basically. A Christmas tree? I can do a Christmas tree. Let's do a Christmas tree, shall we? The pen is a Pentel Touch, I think. I don't know, but I also really like the Tombow Furunosuke brush. I will, after this live is done, I will put down some of the tools that I used in this video. It will just take a little bit, but if you check back, I will put it all down there. Okay, let's do a tree. Let's do a tree, why not? Okay, and then I'm gonna finish with that, and then I'm gonna use the last little bit of time to answer any questions, and let's do it. Okay, so for trees, I'm gonna start with just like a line. I'm using my sap green, just a line down the middle, like this. And then the top of the tree, I always do some branches that are pointing up. Okay, and I'm using a size 6 round brush. Okay, and then as you start to go down, you're gonna start really thin, or not thin, light pressure to get thin strokes. You're gonna start having them face down. Okay, and you're just gonna do like a branch and then maybe some little thin strokes dropping down. Now, one thing I do see that a lot of people do, they get really thin in the middle where you get a lot of white space. You want to try and make the center a little bit more dense. Okay, so I'm just bringing some branches out and then flicking some little pine needles out like that. Bring it out, flick. Bring it out, flick. And I'm really filling it up in the middle. I want it to be a nice full tree. But as you come out further, you're just going to make it a little bit more sparse, light pressure, and just kind of use your brush to flick a little bit. And we are going to go over with darker green as well. But don't make it too symmetrical. Like, you don't want it to be completely perfect, right? You want it to look a bit natural, so it can be a little bit more full on one side or whatever. Just really using like a flicking method. I do answer a lot of the questions that you guys are answering or asking in other videos. You just really gotta watch the other videos. I have tons on water control, tons on like caring for your materials, tons on techniques for beginners, some on trees. Like, I've done a lot of this before. Just keep flicking down so it's nice and dense in the center. Okay, like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna go and get some darker green. I like Hooker's Green Dark.